Welcome along in everybody to the Red Card Radio News Hour. We hope to be the one-stop shop, the one place you need to come for all of your news in and relating to the English Premier League. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That guy over there is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below, that is Sean.
He's back.
Supports Tottenham. We found him.
We found him.
Tracked him down.
Hey.
Roped him back in. Lassoed him. Didn't let him leave.
Ted Lasso.
He's got some things to answer for.
Restarts next month. Ted Lasso restarts next month.
All right. Quick aside before I get into our begging. Whenever you guys tell people that you watch soccer, you watch English football, is the first thing they ask you, do you watch Ted Lasso?
All the time.
Yes.
Literally, it's the only thing people ask me. And every time I'm like, oh, no, I don't watch Ted Lasso.
You should.
You are literally every person I ever talk to about soccer. Oh, man, you have to watch Ted Lasso. It's amazing. I just don't care.
It's incredibly funny.
It is. It is hilarious.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just not. I guess I don't really like comedy, like TV shows that much. Like, I don't know. It's not my preferred. I
guarantee you, there's not a laugh track. Like,
this
is not studio recorded.
I hear that it's very funny, and like I know it's well produced, but like I don't know, it's just not my go-to style of media. Anyway, I digress. Hey, if you just stumbled across us, do you watch Ted Lasso? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell. If you're on one of our podcast sites, definitely hit us with a follow. If Spotify recommended it, hit it with a follow, leave a 5-star review. Do all those things that normal internet people would ask you to do. We would appreciate if you did those things, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Looks like your cat would also like that.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Bro, he is so loud right now. I don't know why he's yelling.
If you do drop an iTunes review, we will read it live on air.
Oh, word, will we?
Yeah, we will.
I hope you have some capability to pull that up because Apple doesn't like to I had to ask Apple to reset my Apple ID, and because I don't own an iPhone or an iPad or a Mac, they're like, it's going to take us 3 weeks to verify who you are. And I'm like, this is such a crock of choice words that I have for them. Apple is stupid, dumb. Anyway, I digress again. All right, so news. What do we have on offer for the people today? So we're gonna hit some comments from last week's episodes, mostly relating to our news episode of last week. And then we're gonna talk Southampton a little bit because of course they did sack their manager, and we alluded to that a little bit yesterday. And then we got European games that we want to touch on. The Champions League is back this week. The Europa League is back this week, and apparently, if I'm looking at our rundown correctly, it says Brad has 2 trivias.
He does.
So this. Maybe he'll ask us who David Moyes has managed again. We'll find out.
I should. We haven't done that one yet.
All right. So comments from last week. We're highlighting Jimmy today. So Jimmy is responding to our Manchester City, the 2023 supplemental Manchester City scrapyard draft, I believe is what I called it last week, which I came up with off the top of my head in the moment. But he said he would take Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, and Rodri at Liverpool. Now, quick editor's note. I think we would all take those players. But if it's in a draft, you're probably not going to be able to just pick those 3 players. And Jimmy would rather finish the draft after like 2 or 3 rounds. He doesn't want to go to 4 rounds. I also didn't want to go to 4 rounds. I was wondering why we're going to 4 rounds. And I think the reason why we went to 4 rounds was so Sean could draft Pep.
Sean could get a manager. Yeah.
Yes.
Which Jimmy overruled my ruling and said that you were allowed to draft Pep. And for some reason,
me and Jimmy were back on good terms. See?
Yeah. Turf more Sean, turf more Jimmy. Back together again.
That's right. Reunited.
He erroneously thinks that you won the draft, Sean.
I did.
Erroneously.
Yeah.
I got an immediate generational player in the midfield. I immediately helped our back line with a 25-year-old guy to pair with Romero, who's also 25. Then I've got the English forward of the future, Phil Foden.
Whoa, hold
And
on.
I got a manager. Okay, well, that's
I
one
got
side and the other,
4
right? So we could both coexist here.
You're wrong here because I got 4 starters in my draft. I didn't need somebody to leave for one of my picks to be in there.
I got a 5-time Premier League winning manager.
6-time. Just give it to him now.
6. Oh, yeah.
It's only 5 tech. I think it's either 4 or 5 at the moment. But
It's 5 for now, and just don't fast forward 2 or 3 years when they conclude this investigation. But for right now, it is 5.
It's probably 0 at the end.
Oh no, I think
I'm just kidding. It's
most of the allegations precede Pep. They precede him. Anyway.
Then he's only won 4.
I think he's won 4 out of the last 5, and he's gonna win 5 out of the last 6 after this season.
Man, that disappointment there.
Yeah.
Oof, it's like the hope kills you. But you've got Joel's comment, and Joel, make sure Joel gets a shout out here for correctly saying who won this draft. Myself.
Well, it would be Brad. Literally just wrote this in the rundown. He said,
"No, I wrote it before we started."
No. I reject that. Your cursor is chilling. I can see it flashing.
I wrote it before we started this.
Sean,
he wrote it.
I wish there were timestamps.
He wrote it when you went to go turn the microphone on sign on. The on air sign that you put outside the room.
All right. Yeah. Brad's out here.
I wrote it before that. He just didn't look. That's not my fault. He didn't look.
Brad's out here editing the rundown as we speak. And he's like, "Hey, you forgot this thing."
If people make comments, we should talk about them.
I agree. Just
can't leave Joel out of this when he made a great comment.
Fill me in, bro. Hold on. Let me pull up a text message from Will so I can say that he had a comment. Anyway. All right. People, friends of the podcast, I apologize for our digression again. So yeah, thanks for those comments. Send them in. We love to talk about them. And we will endeavor to weave your in in when they so fit. What's up, Sean? Were you gonna?
And then in the next couple of weeks we can, or the next maybe couple of months at least, we can. You and I can draft off Chelsea's players when they get also FA indicted.
Interesting. That'd be fun. All right, so let's turn our attention to some news bulletins. So we alluded yesterday, I believe it was Monday morning, the news broke that Southampton had parted ways with their manager. And so the manager carousel began on the South Coast. And news emerged yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, whatever it was, that none other than Jesse Marsch had been linked to the position, that talks were close, and that he was probably going to be the next Southampton manager. Turn around to literally this morning, and apparently those conversations have collapsed. Apparently they couldn't come to an agreement on the length of the deal. Jesse wanted a longer term, and Southampton, I guess, wanted to go for a more short-term situation, which makes me wonder, like, was it like, did they offer him 18 months and he was like, no, I want like 3 years? Or like
the rumor I saw was that he wanted 3 years.
Yeah.
Which would basically be a guarantee of like, hey, if you're already in relegation zone, if you get relegated, that's not on me. Give me a chance to bring it back up. And it seemed by that tone of the report that they were probably offering 6 months, that they were offering to the end of the season.
If you're only going to, if you only want to employ someone for 6 months, hire Big Sam.
Yep.
Right? Like, get a relegation avoiding specialist. Get a specialist in avoiding relegation. Like, I don't understand why you would think about hiring a manager who wants to implement a vision, who wants to implement like a project. And why would you even approach a manager like that? Just go get the guy who is going to try his best to save you from relegation.
But like, yeah. And also their windows don't line up that they were like signing to compete. They were signing young players to develop.
Yeah.
You're going to lose more games than you're going to win.
Yeah, and at the same time, like maybe the Southampton board were like, okay, we tried the long-term deal with this last manager. I feel bad because I should have looked up his name today and written it down. I also just didn't care. I think it's like some
Edwards,
Nathan something or
Nathan Jones.
Collins or something. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can Google that real quick for me.
Wasn't he the interim?
No.
Though? Like, did he ever get the actual title?
Yes, Brad. We talked about this like 3 or 4 weeks ago. You were like, no, he's short term, and me and Sean were like, no, he's long term. He had like a 3-year deal. Anyway, all right. So Jesse Marsch seems to be out at the moment. Maybe they can come back together and they can work it out. I would love to see Jesse Marsch get another shot in the Premier League. I think he's a good manager. I think he came into the Leeds situation when, in essentially the same point last year when they were almost relegated. He saves them from relegation over the last 12 games, and then he I don't even know if he like technically gets even a full year of games worth. I don't even think he managed 38 games in the Premier League for Leeds. So it's kind of I'd like to see him get another
by one.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to see him get another chance. So what do they need then? Like, what is the type of manager that they need? Is it should they just go get Big Sam?
At this point, yes. Who else is that? Oh,
no.
Go ahead.
I think they're getting in their own way. I think Jesse Marsch is fine. I think that they're thinking about it the wrong way. They've had 2 really good windows. They signed Lavia, which I've been raving about the entire year. They signed Orsic in the January. Coach Up, which is a really good signing. They've had good signings, but they're for the future. And if you're gonna, like, to your point, if you're gonna make those signings, sign a manager for the future. Like, Big Sam is not gonna help an 18-year-old center defensive mid and Lavia like get any better. He's just going to have him packed in a block, not doing anything.
I think I disagree with that. I don't think that's Big Sam's necessary style. I think Big Sam has a little bit more nuance to himself than pack in the box and be done. But
I'm sure I'm oversimplifying it. But you guys know what I mean.
If Southampton signed all those players when they still thought Hasenhüttl was still their guy, right? So now it becomes, this is February. March, April, May. This is
it's different February because it's only 22 games through February, mid-February.
Okay.
Normally you've got a third of a third of the season left.
Right. You weren't letting me finish.
Oh, okay, sorry.
In that your goal now is to stay up, to get more money than you get going down on a parachute. So yes, you bring in Big Sam, if that is what Southampton are trying to do. And I don't see why you don't try to stay up in the Premier League and do everything you can to stay in the Premier League. They're not Norwich. They're not a team that bounces. They're a lower table team. What they've been, they're a selling team. They get a young talent, they develop him a little bit, and then a big club comes and buys him. Usually Liverpool, right? Like that's been Southampton's model. They got all cleaned out except for Ward-Prowse. They restocked this year on this young talent. And so your goal is to stay up. So then these players are bought. Because like if they go down, Lavia's not staying there. You might be able to convince Ganazu, their goalie. But a lot of those players aren't going to stay and be developed in the championship.
I mean, if
they're
you have
Premier League players.
If you have a contract, like you can't just like get out of the contract, right? Like so like
right, but let me rephrase. The amount of money that you would get for that player when you going down to the championship is a lot different than the amount of money you would get if you stay in the Premier League. Yeah,
but the thing about Southampton is, and I'm going to speak potentially out of turn here, is that they're not in financial crisis. So like, it's not like if they go down, they can't afford to keep these players. Like none of these players are on super high wages. It's not like if Everton went down. If Everton goes down, it's a disaster because they have so many players. They're like the 7th highest payroll in the league or something like that. Like I bet if we look at Southampton's payroll, it's probably mid to middle bottom, would be my guess. And so like I would imagine that they can afford to go down in terms of their wage bill. It might be painful, but I'm sure they could afford it. And so like I think it's a slightly different situation. Like if you have a team that has young players and they go down, but the wage bill is out of whack, then you have to sell your assets in order to make it make sense. But I don't think that's where Southampton's going to be. Maybe I'm wrong.
Southampton have the 16th highest payroll.
Okay. Like that's,
but but 16 out of 20 teams. Okay, but let's put it this way: that's 57 million pounds.
Okay. I mean, their parachute payment's going to be huge.
I think James's point is they're not in such financial peril that they couldn't sustain 1 year of paying that out of pocket.
Yeah. They could afford the championship for 1 year.
If they didn't trend towards like they're getting promoted, then that is an issue out of the Champions League. Now it's a fire sale of, okay, if it wasn't already a fire sale, now it's a fire sale of, okay, we can't do this 2 years in a row.
But at the same time, like those young players, like it's not like there's a reason why our clubs, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, City, there's a reason why we loan our young players to play in the championship. Like there is value in developing in the championship. The championship is probably one of the best leagues in the world. Honestly, it's probably one of like I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the top 10 in terms of like quality of football in terms of the world. It's like no other top big five European leagues have a second division as deep as England's. England's second division is strong. So like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't.
It's a completely different game. Like there's benefits to it, but like, are these young kids going to quote unquote play for the badge? Because like, of course, Ward-Prowse is going to stay.
I mean,
are they going to want to stay and play in it?
Is Charlie Patino playing for the badge at Blackpool?
No.
He's developing. He's playing against men.
But you're talking about a lone player with an end coming at the end of the season, he goes back to his main team.
Yeah.
Are these Premier League players that signed up to play for the Premier League going to be okay playing in the championship?
I mean, what I'm saying is that they don't have a choice. Right? Like if a
player wants to leave, the players leave. Like you're not going to hold a player back.
If they have a contract, if they sign a contract with Southampton and Southampton doesn't want to sell them, like, do you think Caicedo wanted to leave Brighton?
But his buyout, like the buyout clause is completely changed going down the championship. Haven't we had this conversation?
Most English teams don't have buyout clauses in their players' contracts. Like this is like buyout clauses are generally more European than they are English. Most teams don't have like it's not like Saka or like Gabby Martinelli just signed a new contract with Arsenal. There's no buyout clause in his contract. That's a foreign thing. Like I mean like in England. So like that's not something that's natural in England. So like I think that we're getting bogged down here a little bit. But I think that the players don't have as much like leeway to say I'm just not going to do it. I mean, you signed for Southampton. They were kind of in a relegation scrap last year. Like you knew what the game was.
I don't know. We'll see.
You guys want a nice little bow on it?
Yeah.
Manchester United paid more in salaries for their forwards than Southampton paid for their entire team.
Okay. There you go. Does that include Weghorst?
I'm not sure. It says they pay $57.2 million in salary to their forwards. They have 27 active players. Southampton have 29 active players, and their entire wage bill is $51 million.
I wonder if that's including Cristiano Ronaldo.
I bet it does.
That 57 has to include Ronaldo.
I would imagine it does. However, it may make me wane from imagining that when their defensive players also cost $65 million in salary, which is as much as Crystal Palace.
Yeah, the gulf in wage bills between the big boys and the little clubs in England is immense.
Yes.
Okay, so Sean, you think that they should sign a project manager. Brad thinks that they should sign Big Sam and stay up. I think they should sign Jesse Marsh. I think they should hire Jesse Marsh. I agree with Sean. 2-1. Brad, you're wrong.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, they're obviously not going to sign Jesse Marsh because that ship has sailed. But all right, so turn our attention to speaking of foreign things. Let's talk about the Champions League and the Europa League, the two competitions that obviously we care about. Nothing else matters here, right? So on Tuesday, Tottenham Hotspurs and Antonio Conte took a little trip down to Italy. They went to Milano, to the San Siro to play against the reigning Italian champions AC Milan. Sean, how do you feel about this one?
It's tough playing against an entire another team when your manager is actively rooting for his countrymen to win the game.
I was gonna say, did you like his comments after the game? This is my second time to England, and I like England, but I am Italian. I love it.
He misses home.
Yeah, well,
I wonder if he got off the plane and was just like, man, this place is really nice. This Italy place. I should live here.
Yeah, well, the way he manages the team indicates that he did not want to beat his beloved Milano team.
Okay. Okay, hold on. In defense of Antonio Conte, he's a Juventino. So he obviously is not like a big AC Milan supporter.
And he just won El Scudetto with Inter.
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever coached AC Milan.
He has not.
Yet.
We did.
Put on a great audition. Put on a great peace offering.
No, they're not gonna. I forget the name of the AC Milan manager, but he's a young guy. They're not gonna sack him for Antonio Conte. So the game ends 1-0. So
it gets tiresome watching the game, and it doesn't even think about subbing before this, like the 75th minute. Like that game was in reach in the early second half.
But the thing is, what you're saying though is that like what subs would you like to see him make earlier? Like bring Richarlison on sooner?
Yeah, just make a change. Yeah, get fresh legs on. Switch up the lineups. Change something. If you keep doing the same thing for 90 straight minutes every game and it doesn't work, they have a saying. They have a saying for that.
Who was on your bench? Do you guys have a bench?
Richarlison.
No, we didn't. We didn't bring one.
Richarlison. I guess Lucas Moura.
I mean, Lucas Moura is a big game player.
Ben Davies.
He came on and put on the worst 6 minutes of his career.
Lucas Moura.
Your new signing, Danjuma got on there. I mean, I don't think you guys have a bench to be complaining about. Change something. Like what? He changed the midfield.
Change anything.
Hold on. We also have to hold on. We have to throw some context in this because this is a two-legged affair. Like, right? Like you don't want to make so many changes that it unbalances the team and you give up a second or a third goal. It's especially in the first leg away from home, especially with away goals not mattering anymore. Like this suits Conte so much more in that he's like, we lose 1-0 in Milan. That's not the end of the world because they have to come back to North London. We're going to have 60,000 people on our side and we play better at home. So like, I don't know. I don't think that Conte should get so much flack for this.
Hold on. But if Sean wants changes, I got changes.
Okay.
I got changes here. I got big changes here.
This should be good.
Sean, what do you think about this? A 4-3-3, Perisic, Lenglet, Romero, Royale for the memes as your back four. Then your midfield is Dyer, Højbjerg, who I think was just suspended because of yellows, Kane as the 10, Kane as your cam. Then a front three of Son, Richarlison, and Kulu.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Brad. Let's just take the greatest scoring threat in the history of Tottenham and put him in the midfield.
Because that's where he plays most of the damn game.
Well, I have a question for you, Brett. Is this like currently available to Spurs? Like the 11 you would choose that's currently available to Spurs? Or like if everyone's healthy, this is the 11 you would choose?
This is the healthy 11 right now.
Currently available. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Then I don't see why you don't put Hill at the 10.
Isn't he on loan?
Or Charleston on? No, he's not. Did they loan him?
Yeah,
that didn't go. I thought that didn't go through.
No, it was a different one that didn't go through.
Yeah, he ended up going to Sevilla the day before deadline day.
I thought that didn't go through.
There was
it was back to Spain.
Yeah, he's at Sevilla, I think.
Yeah, that's where it was rumored. I didn't think it went through.
Yeah.
No, it 100%.
I don't disagree. Maybe him that it did.
I don't know. I don't know if Dyer can play in the midfield anymore. He's been playing center back for like 3 years. I don't know if he has the legs to.
I mean, a super deep lying 6.
Then he's just gonna fall into the center back line. You're gonna be playing 5-2-3 again.
This is the reason why he doesn't play the 6 anymore, is because you have an actual buffoon trying to play one of the most important positions on the field.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Could you? All right. So we'll get into this in tomorrow's episode, but like, I was watching Arsenal today, and Jorginho is just so bad. Like, could you compare? Like, I would imagine Jorginho and Eric Dyer trying to like fill that 6 role, and it would probably be the same thing. Like just like foolishly running away from the defense, trying to get close to someone and getting spun at midfield, and just being so slow that you can't recover. Anyway,
there's a reason he's not in center defensive mid anymore.
Yeah, I think Eric Dyer would just that would not work. I don't know. I don't think that lineup's the play, Brad.
I don't know. It's what I got with the players that were available.
I think if you go with a 4-man, it's Dyer Romero, because Romero being right next to Dyer, and it's only the 2 of them that will help Dyer not be an idiot.
Okay. But then who's in your midfield then?
Sar.
Yeah.
Sar. Okay.
Yeah. Just play the 20-year-old. Yeah.
Okay. Over Skippy?
Over Skip. Skip's Dyer Jr. He's just a little smarter. That is like the progression. Younger. Like Dyer is the Neanderthal, and then like Skip is just the next progression. Like he's just barely smarter than Dyer.
Do you feel, obviously you seem to be upset about a 1-0 loss, but if you think about it in the context of a 2-game tie, do you feel like you guys could get a result in London in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, whenever it is, and progress?
Well, my comments today are a culmination of the grand feeling of the team.
Yeah.
And how we are and the prospect moving forward. In a vacuum, yes, a 1-0 loss at San Siro is not a bad first tie. Okay. I agree with you.
Okay.
In a vacuum.
Yeah. All right.
When you take this pile of poop that we have, or 11, 12 if you count the manager, if you take these 12 piles of poops and extrapolate it, we don't make it to the next round of the Champions League. Okay. So needed a result there.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What about for you, Brad? So today in Germany, Dortmund.
Yesterday.
Well, yes, yesterday for the people who are hey, spoiler, guys, we didn't record this Thursday morning. Just throwing that out there. So okay, on Wednesday.
There you go.
On Wednesday, February 15th. Excuse me, everyone. In Germany, Dortmund got the 1-0 victory over Chelsea. I read a tweet, and this tweet I think was from CFC Mod, and he was like, Graham Potter coached this team to a 3-0 victory, but we got unlucky. Do you agree with that? Do you think that Chelsea dominated the game and got unlucky?
Yes, luck was not on our side. I think we hit the post like twice. Jao hit the post twice. We had 6 other shots on target. We had 21 shots this game. We just couldn't find the back of the net besides Thiago's hand. Thiago had a header handball like 7 minutes into the game, got a yellow card from it. Yeah, super, super unlucky. The goal was just quick counter from a corner kick on ours and Kepa not committing. Like either Kepa, you need to stay back or you need to commit. I don't care which one it is, but don't halfway do it.
I don't know. He came out and he dove, didn't he? And they went around him.
Yes, but he hesitated in his he didn't get out far enough. He got like midway to where he should have been. Either way, I feel.
Hold on. Are you trying to pin the goal against Kepa, or are you just trying to intimate that he could have done better?
He could have done better.
Okay. All right, cool.
A one-on-one situation is a 50-50 coin toss. In that case, it was like 60-40 that it was going to be a goal.
I don't even know if it's 50-50 in normal circumstances.
Right, but I think there was opportunities for improvement on that one.
Okay. Maybe.
I feel like we deserved this win as opposed to the West Ham game. The West Ham game felt like it should have been a draw. Like a draw felt like a reasonable result from that game. We were just routed by the refs. This one we just couldn't score. But the chances were there. Like this is not Graham Potter's fault. And everybody that's been yelling about Graham Potter, like he made the changes to the team. The team functioned well. We played well. Couldn't put the ball in the net.
Do you think Graham Potter's mad?
Yes, I think he is actually mad this time. And because he had to deal with those questions again.
I just was thinking this while I was talking. Isn't it very unique to Chelsea to talk about a one-on-one play with the keeper and blame the keeper and not the other 10 outfield players that allowed the one-on-one?
Yeah. Because it wasn't.
I don't know why Enzo is our last player.
Oh, because you don't want. It's
unless that started at the 50. That is completely on the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's a corner kick.
It was a corner kick that got cleared out, and then Homie was just faster than Enzo.
Yeah, that's on your midfield. That's on your that's on your set piece coach. Whoever set that up and doesn't have one of your fastest players in the back. That's on him.
Yep.
And then it's on Enzo for not stopping him. You gotta do better.
Or a professional foul. Like just take the yellow. Take the yellow.
Yeah.
That's a yellow all day. Just take him out.
Because they're not going to give you a red card if you take him out in the midfield.
I don't think he got close enough to him.
Yeah, he didn't.
What's the player that's that fast?
He didn't get he was backing up to give him. It's like he had space to run with him.
Who scored?
You're making it sound even worse that you're blaming Kepa now. Like everything that you just said makes it seem even worse that you're blaming Kepa and saying Kepa could have done better.
Kepa could have done better. That's irregardless of whatever Enzo's failures. Enzo could have done better also. They both could have done better.
I just think it's interesting that your first reaction was
it always is.
Kepa could have done better.
Yes.
I think
I was like, where is he? Why is he not out? Why is he not out? And then he came out.
I don't think Brad's wrong in those feelings, but to completely exonerate the corner kicker, anybody in the box who didn't get a head on it, why you allow a player to clear it that far, and then the final defenders who were set up at the outside of the box to not corral that. Like you can't completely exonerate the rest of the team, and it's just solely Kepa's fault. I don't think you're wrong in your feeling though.
And if I was making it sound that way, I didn't mean to.
Okay.
Enzo's at fault too. Enzo is at fault too. Anthony Barry is at fault too. Yes. But yeah, I felt a little hard done on this result, more so than the West Ham game. This game showed a ton of improvement and a ton more chance creation than we did at West Ham.
So. All right. Same question to you. 2 or 3 weeks time, whenever you guys meet back up in London, do you fancy Chelsea's chances?
Yeah, we're smacking them.
Okay. All right. Heard it here first. Dortmund, just don't show up.
Oh, there's no reason to, Jimmy. Stay home.
All right. In the other matches, we got PSG, Bayern. That we didn't highlight. I think it was like Benfica and someone else played yesterday as well. But on Tuesday, PSG hosts Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich get the 1-0 victory, though Pavard gets a red card in the 92nd minute. I think it's a second yellow red card, but either way, that'll see him ruled out of the next match in the return fixture in Munich. Kylian Mbappe did come on so he suffered an injury of some kind early February, and he was meant to be out for like 3 or so weeks. He wasn't meant to play in this match. I think the idea was always to try and protect him in this match and let him come back for the second leg. But he came on trying to find an equalizer for PSG, which I think he scored twice, but both were ruled out for offside.
Offsides.
In the Europa League coming up on Thursday. So you guys are catching this episode on Thursday. What was that, Brad?
I was going to say on Thursday, this game is happening as this is coming out.
Yeah.
So today, this game is happening.
Yeah. So you guys are catching this episode Thursday morning. This game will be this afternoon. We've got Barcelona and Manchester United in the Europa League. That should be a good affair. The winner of this round is probably going to draw Arsenal and knock Arsenal out of the Europa League. So congratulations. But no, I think that this should be a good tie. We've got a really young Barcelona team against this United team is not super young, but it is certainly resurgent under Erik ten Hag. I think
both in form or near.
I mean, like Barcelona's a top La Liga by like 11 points or something like that.
They're running away with the league. Yeah.
So both of them would rather be in the Champions League, obviously, but that's not their story for them this season. So I think that this should be a good tie. I would definitely pay attention to it. The Europa League is actually where all the action is this year in terms of all the big clubs. So it makes more sense to be watching the Europa League than the Champions League. So you'll definitely, if you're a neutral, be rather watching the big ties in the Europa League. Yeah. So B-Rad.
You guys ready?
It says trivia is 2.
I got two questions.
Okay.
I got 2 questions. We're going back to James's boy here, Mr. Jesse Marsh. Can you name the first professional team that he played for?
DC United.
New York Cosmos.
Sean is correct. It was DC United.
Yeah.
He only had 15 appearances before he went off to Chicago Fire with Bob Bradley.
It would have been the MLS. You picked the Cosmos like he's 80. Like that was in the 70s, Brad. That was in the 70s, James.
Yeah, it was James there. All right.
Haley played for them.
I know. He did.
Also managed 5 squads. He has led up 5 squads. How many can you name, Sean, since you got the first one right?
1.
I'm trying to remember the team he managed in
Sweden.
No, in Germany. That he got sacked in Germany before he came to Leeds. I just can't remember which team it is.
He managed a team in Sweden, I believe.
That's probably
or
right
Norway.
Too.
Sweden or Norway.
Obviously, we get Leeds. He probably managed in MLS as well, right? Probably like Philadelphia Union or something.
How many are you betting? James, you haven't given us a bet yet.
Maybe.
You haven't given us a bet yet.
I'm gonna guess whatever team that Arsenal played at the North Pole last year in the Conference League or in the Europa League.
I don't even remember the name of the team. 2.
All right. You got 2. Let's see what you got. We know we have Leeds. Leeds is easy.
FC Köln.
No, it wasn't Köln.
Y'all gonna probably be upset at this one.
Leipzig.
There you go. There you go. There's his most 2 recent. Before Leipzig, where was he? Any guesses?
Scandinavia is what Sean is guessing. Okay.
If he was at RB Leipzig, where would he have gone beforehand? That's your hint.
Salzburg.
New York Red Bulls.
There you go, Salzburg.
Oh.
Hold on. If he went to Salzburg, where did he go before that?
New York Red Bulls.
There we go.
Oh, so he was just in the Red Bull circuit?
Yeah, from 2015, 2021, he was in the Red Bull circuit. The team he managed before that was back in 2011, 2012 when he managed the Montreal Impact.
Ah, okay. That
was the one I didn't think you would get that one.
That's USL. Impact is USL.
No, Impact is MLS.
No, that's the women's.
I bet
right?
they're now called CF Montreal, but they were the Montreal Impact.
Oh, that was when they were the Impact when Josie Altidore played there.
He played at Toronto.
They just changed their name.
Josie Altidore played for Toronto.
Whatever.
Yes. Didier.
It's all Canada. It's all Canada.
Didier played for Montreal. But yeah, Red Bull Salzburg. The one I thought was in what country I think Salzburg was in? Germany?
Germany, yeah.
I think I put in Germany. Austria. So there you go. There's Jesse Marsh's career. Maybe we'll add Southampton to it if James and Sean have their way.
I hope so. Let us know in the comments.
I do. Hey, look.
Who you think
I do too. I don't think he will, but I do too.
I mean, he's not going to, just based on the fact that the talks fell apart. But let us know in the comments below who you guys think Southampton should hire. Let us know what you guys think about the Champions League. Will, let us know what you think about Juve and their draw. Right there in the Champions League, right? All right.
And Jimmy, let's see your answers to this trivia.
Yeah. If you're still listening, haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that now. Ring the sub notification bell. If you liked us, if you hated us, maybe do it anyway. We'd appreciate that as well.
You put that in the comments.
Yeah. Share this episode with a friend, with an enemy, perhaps. If you hated us, you send this to someone you really dislike because you disliked us. Maybe we get along with them. Who knows? But yeah, we would love to hear from you guys, and check back tomorrow, Friday. We will have a preview of match week 24 for you guys in the English Premier League. But until then, have a good one. We will see you guys later.